Have you noticed something strange lately? You used to sleep through the night like a rock. But now, you're up at 1 a.m. Then again at 3. And just when you think you've finally drifted off, bam, 5:15 rolls around, and you're back in the bathroom, again. At first, maybe you laughed it off. Guess this is what turning 60 feels like, you might have said. Or maybe you've told yourself, it's just my bladder acting up, nothing serious. But deep down, a little voice wonders, what if this isn't just age? What if something else is going on down there? You're not alone. Millions of men, good men, healthy men, are quietly struggling with prostate problems they never saw coming. Some ignore the signs. Some get handed prescriptions they don't understand. And some are never told the truth about one simple, natural fruit that may help shrink the prostate, calm those late-night urges, and give you back something you didn't even realize you'd lost. Peace of mind. That's right. A fruit. Not a pill. Not surgery. Just a humble fruit. Something you can find in nature. Something that's been quietly working for generations, but no one ever bothered to tell you. Why? Maybe because it's not trendy. Maybe because there's no big money behind it. Or maybe, because it works so well, it threatens the whole system. Whatever the reason, today, we're shining a light on it. In this video, you'll learn what this fruit is, how it works, and why it might just be the quiet hero your body's been craving. We'll also talk about 5 surprising ways it supports your health, ways that go beyond the prostate and touch everything from your memory, to your digestion, even your energy levels. This is about real health. Real solutions. Real talk. So, if you're tired of feeling like your body's slipping out of your control, if you want to sleep through the night without planning your route to the bathroom in the dark, if you're ready to stop accepting discomfort as just part of getting old, then stay with me. We're going to uncover something no one else is talking about, and trust me, you'll want to hear every second of it. Now, before we dive in, do me a favor, if you're here because you care about your health, or the health of someone you love, drop a comment below and type, "I'm here." It lets me know you're listening. It tells YouTube this message matters. And if you want more honest, practical advice on living better, aging stronger, and staying sharp, go ahead and subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide, because every day, we're digging deeper into the stuff that really matters to people like you. Alright. Let's begin. Let's talk about the powerful fruit that might shrink your prostate, and why no one ever tells you about it. Let's start with the first and most annoying symptom many older men quietly battle. You go to bed exhausted, maybe after a long day, maybe after a good movie, but sleep won't stay. Because like clockwork, your bladder comes calling. One trip to the bathroom. Then another. And then again. You barely get 2 hours in before the next interruption. Now, let me introduce you to Richard. He's a 71-year-old retired mailman from Kansas. Tough guy. Always moving. Rain, snow, sleet, you name it. But in retirement, something changed. Richard used to dread going to bed. Not because of bad dreams, but because he knew exactly how the night would play out. He'd be up and down like a yo-yo. 3, sometimes 4 times a night. And every time he got back in bed, it was harder and harder to fall asleep. He told his wife, "I feel like I'm sleeping in chapters." And in the morning, he'd wake up groggy. Frustrated. Like his whole body was dragging behind him. He tried cutting back on fluids before bed, avoided coffee after 3 p.m., even sat there in silence hoping he didn't feel the urge. Nothing worked. Then one day, his neighbor, an old army buddy, handed him a little bag of something and said, "Try this every morning. Just trust me." What was it? Saw palmetto berry. A small, dark fruit that grows wild in the southeastern U.S. Not much to look at. Not something you'd see on the front page of a health magazine. But it's packed with something powerful. Phytosterols. These are natural plant compounds that reduce inflammation in the prostate. And when your prostate shrinks just a little, your bladder stops feeling squished. Your urine flow improves. And guess what? You don't have to wake up every 2 hours anymore. Within a few weeks of adding Palmetto to his routine, just a small handful with his oatmeal, Richard noticed a change. The bathroom trips slowed down. First from 4 times a night to 2. Then eventually, just once. Sometimes not at all. Now, I know what you might be thinking, isn't this just part of getting older? That's what most men assume. They shrug it off. Blame it on their age. Or worse, they normalize it. But listen. Just because something is common doesn't mean it's normal. Waking up all night to pee is your body's way of waving a red flag. And here's the real kicker, you don't have to jump straight to prescriptions, catheters, or endless doctor visits. Sometimes, nature already has a tool waiting for you. So, here's what you can do, start small. Get a Palmetto supplement, or if you're lucky enough to find the dried berries, try adding just a spoonful into your morning meal. Mix it into yogurt, stir it into oatmeal, even toss it into a smoothie. Let your body get used to it, gently, naturally. It's not a miracle overnight fix. But give it a few weeks. Let it work in the background. And before you know it, you might just start sleeping through the night again. But that's just scratching the surface. Because the next thing this fruit does, it may just shock you. It affects your hormones in a way most men don't realize, and for some, it brings back a feeling they haven't felt in years. Now let's talk about something most men don't even realize is happening, hormone shifts. It doesn't sound like a big deal at first, right? You hear the word hormones, and maybe you think, that's not for me, that's women's health stuff. But hang on just a minute. Because what's going on under the surface, quietly, slowly, is shaping the way you feel every single day. Let me tell you about George. He's 72. Used to be sharp as a tack, always had a joke on the tip of his tongue. He volunteered at the local VA, stayed active, even coached Little League for his grandkids. But over time, something changed. He started feeling off. He wasn't sad exactly, but he wasn't himself either. He'd wake up feeling tired. Unmotivated. His moods would swing out of nowhere, fine one moment, irritated the next. His wife said, "You're just not you lately." Now here's what most men do, they chalk it up to stress, aging, bad sleep. Some might even go to the doctor and walk out with a prescription for testosterone gel or pills. But George? He tried something different. He came across a study on Palmetto berries and how they affect a hormone called DHT, that's dihydrotestosterone. Now don't let the name scare you. Here's what you need to know, your body converts testosterone into DHT. Too much DHT not only enlarges the prostate, it amplifies all those sluggish, irritable feelings. It puts your system off balance. Like a car running low on clean oil, it's still moving, but it's not running smooth. Palmetto helps block that conversion, gently. It doesn't pump you full of hormones. It doesn't override your body. It simply keeps more of your natural testosterone as is, so your body can use it the way it was meant to. And guess what started happening to George? Within weeks of taking Palmetto daily, alongside a healthy breakfast, he noticed something subtle but powerful, his moods leveled out. He had more energy. More drive. He even started picking up old hobbies again, fixing up furniture in his garage, whistling while he worked. Now here's the part most men miss. They jump to testosterone boosters, hormone therapy, synthetic supplements. And for some people, maybe that's necessary. But nature already has a quiet ally, and it's been growing wild in the American Southeast for centuries. So, here's what I want you to do if this sounds familiar: don't overcomplicate it. Just start small. Take saw palmetto, ideally in capsule form if you can't get the dried berries. And pair it with healthy fats like walnuts, flax seeds, or even a slice of avocado. Why? Because those fats help your body absorb the phytosterols better. Think of it like turning the key in the ignition. It activates the full potential. And give it time. This isn't some flashy fix. It's quiet. Subtle. But when you wake up one morning feeling a bit more like yourself again, clearer, lighter, steadier, you'll know it's working. But let me tell you something. Feeling good emotionally is just the beginning. Because the next benefit this fruit brings? It goes straight to your joints, your gut, and your overall inflammation, and that might be exactly what your body's been waiting for. Now let's talk about something that creeps in slowly, but touches almost every part of your life when you're older: inflammation. You feel it in your knees when you get up from the recliner. You feel it in your back when you bend over to tie your shoes. You even feel it in your fingers when you're trying to open that stubborn jar of pickles. It's that constant, nagging stiffness. The slow mornings. The groaning joints. The way everything just feels heavier. Let me tell you about Leonard. He's 68 years old and lives out in Oregon. Used to love gardening. He had a backyard full of tomatoes, bell peppers, even some corn. But over the years, that garden sat quiet. Weeds moved in. His tools got rusty. Why? Because his body just didn't cooperate anymore. His knees ached. His hips felt tight. And after just 10 minutes in the dirt, he was done for the day. He said it best himself: "I felt like my joints were made of wood." But then something unexpected happened. Leonard started adding a new snack to his lunch. Just a small handful of dried saw palmetto berries, right after his sandwich. He didn't think much of it at first. It wasn't some big health decision. Just something he'd heard might help with his nighttime urination. But within a couple weeks, he noticed something surprising. He was moving easier. Less creaking when he stood up. His hands weren't as swollen in the morning. He was back out in the yard pulling weeds, watering plants, even hauling bags of mulch, something he hadn't done in years. He thought, maybe it's the warm weather. But no. The only real change was the fruit. So, what's going on here? Saw palmetto berries are loaded with antioxidants, especially one group called anthocyanins. These are the same powerful compounds that give berries their rich, dark color. They help reduce inflammation deep inside the body, including around the prostate and inside your joints. When inflammation drops, you move easier. You recover faster. And you feel younger, without touching a single pain pill. Now here's the mistake I see so many older folks make: they pop NSAIDs like candy. Ibuprofen, naproxen, aspirin, anything to just get through the day. And sure, they might numb the pain short term. But over time, they can tear up your stomach, raise your blood pressure, even affect your heart. But saw palmetto? It supports your body gently. It doesn't just mask the pain, it helps your body fight back at the root. So, if you're looking for a simple, natural way to ease that deep, stubborn stiffness, try this: blend it. Toss some saw palmetto powder or extract into a smoothie. Add a handful of leafy greens, like spinach or kale. Throw in a banana for taste, maybe a few almonds, and a splash of unsweetened almond milk. It's like a green tonic for your joints. And the best part? No side effects. No prescriptions. Just fuel for the body that's trying its best to keep you moving. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Because this fruit doesn't just help your body feel better, it might also be helping your mind. Yep, memory, clarity, Focus. That fuzzy feeling you get when you forget where you left your keys or can't recall why you walked into the room? This little fruit may be helping with that too. Let's take a closer look. Now here's a benefit that's flying under the radar for most people: memory. You ever walk into a room and forget why? Or struggle to remember a familiar name? Maybe you've started writing more things down because you just don't trust your brain like you used to. And again, most folks shrug and say, that's just what happens when you get older. But I want to challenge that. Because what if the way your brain is aging has less to do with time, and more to do with what you're feeding it? Let me tell you about Sylvester. He's 74, retired schoolteacher from North Carolina. One of those men who always had a sharp wit. He could recall dates, events, even old student names like it was yesterday. But in his early 70s, he started noticing little slips. Words on the tip of his tongue. Forgetfulness with appointments. Losing his train of thought mid-conversation. It rattled him. He started thinking maybe it was the beginning of something serious. But he didn't panic. Instead, he made one simple change. He started adding palmetto berries to his evening snack. Just a few, mixed with some walnuts and a couple dark chocolate chips. A few weeks in, he felt something shift. He wasn't forgetting as much. His conversations flowed easier. His memory of old stories felt sharper, more colorful. He told his daughter, "I feel like my brain's got a little more oil in the gears." So, what's going on here? Palmetto doesn't just support the prostate. It also improves circulation, including blood flow to the brain. When your brain gets better blood supply, it gets more oxygen, more nutrients, basically, more of what it needs to stay sharp. And let's not forget the antioxidants. Those same powerful compounds that fight inflammation in your body. They're also fighting off the oxidative stress that builds up in your brain. And over time, that stress is what contributes to cognitive decline. Now here's the myth. Most people think that memory loss is just part of aging. They think there's nothing you can do about it. But science is starting to show us, that's not entirely true. Yes, some decline is normal. But the speed of it, the severity of it, can be influenced by diet, by sleep, by movement, and yes, by what you snack on. So, here's a simple tip if you want to feed your brain right: make a memory mix. Take a small handful of dried palmetto berries, just a few, because they're potent. Add in some walnuts, a couple pumpkin seeds, maybe a little dried blueberry if you like it sweet. Eat it in the evening, maybe after dinner. It's satisfying, brain-friendly, and might even help calm your body before bed. Now, I'm not saying it's magic. I'm not promising you'll remember every birthday and password tomorrow. But give it time. Give your brain what it needs. And you just might notice the fog lifting, little by little. Still with me? Because we've covered sleep, energy, movement, even memory. But there's one more piece of the puzzle, one most men overlook until it becomes a serious problem. It's your gut. Let's talk about digestion. Because what this fruit does for your stomach? That might be the most underappreciated benefit of them all. Now let's talk about something a little personal. But let's be honest, we've all been there. You eat a perfectly normal meal. And before you know it, your stomach feels tight, bloated, like you swallowed a balloon. You shift in your chair, hoping it'll pass. You try walking it off. Sometimes, you go 2, even 3 days without a proper bowel movement, and you feel it in your whole body. Uncomfortable? Absolutely. Embarrassing? Maybe. But you are not alone. Let me tell you about Tom. He's 69, lives down in Arizona, and has always had stomach troubles. Gas, bloating, constipation, you name it. He tried it all. Fiber powders, prunes, even one of those chalky over-the-counter drinks that tastes like wet cardboard. But nothing gave him real, lasting relief. Then one day, during a visit with his cousin, he was offered a strange little snack. It looked like a dried berry, nothing fancy. His cousin said, "Try it after dinner. Good for the gut." That snack? Saw Palmetto. Tom figured, why not? He started eating a small serving after lunch each day. Didn't expect much. But by the end of the first week, he noticed something. His stomach felt lighter. He wasn't as bloated. He wasn't pacing the hallway hoping something would move. And by week 2, his digestion felt normal. For the first time in years. So, what changed? Well, saw Palmetto isn't just good for your prostate. It also contains natural fiber and enzymes that gently support your digestion. It's not the kind of fiber that rushes through you like a freight train. It works slowly, naturally, helping regulate your bowel movements without the side effects. And here's the part most folks don't realize: gut health and prostate health are actually connected. When your gut is out of balance, inflammation goes up across the board, including around the prostate. But when your gut is working the way it should, your whole body breathes a little easier. Yet here's the mistake too many people make: they grab the latest fiber powder off the pharmacy shelf. They drink thick shakes filled with synthetic stuff they can't even pronounce. But the truth is, your body was designed to respond to food. Real food. Not just chemicals in a bottle. So, here's my suggestion: start adding a small serving of dried saw palmetto berries to your after-meal routine. Just a few. Not a lot. Let them do their quiet work in the background. It acts like a natural digestive aid, and before long, your gut will thank you. And by the way, better digestion doesn't just help your belly. It helps your energy, your mood, even how well you sleep at night. That's the beauty of real, whole-body care. It's all connected. When you take care of one part, others begin to follow. Now, you've heard the stories. You've learned the benefits, from fewer bathroom trips, to better mood, to less inflammation, clearer memory, and smoother digestion. But there's still one big question sitting in the back of your mind. So, what is this mysterious fruit we've been talking about? That small, dark, overlooked berry. The one quietly helping men sleep through the night, think clearer, move easier, and digest better? It's saw palmetto. Yes, saw palmetto berry. The very same fruit that Native American tribes used for centuries, especially for men's health. It's not flashy. It's not sweet or trendy. It doesn't come in bright packaging or have a celebrity spokesperson. But it works. And that is what matters. Now I want you to just pause for a second. Think about everything we've talked about: the late-night bathroom trips, the mood swings you couldn't explain, the aching joints, the brain fog, the bloating. You've probably felt at least one of those things. Maybe all of them. And maybe, like so many others, you thought, well, I guess that's just aging. But it's not that simple. And here's the truth: you don't have to be afraid of prostate problems. You don't have to feel like you're just waiting for something to go wrong. Because now you know better. Now you know that nature gave you a tool. A simple, natural fruit that puts some of the power back in your hands. It doesn't take over your body. It doesn't come with a laundry list of side effects. It just works with you, day by day, quietly helping you feel more like yourself again. So, here's my message to you: start small. Try adding saw palmetto to your daily routine. Maybe in capsule form, or even the dried berries if you can find them. Have a conversation with your doctor. Bring it up. Ask questions. You deserve answers. And most importantly, don't wait until it gets worse. Take one small step today. Because every step matters. Every choice you make toward your health, no matter how simple, is a victory. You are not helpless. You are not broken. And you are not too old to make a change. There's strength in awareness. There's power in prevention. And there's hope in the simple things, like a berry you'd never think twice about. Aging doesn't have to mean surrender. It can mean rising up with wisdom, with love for your body, and with a quiet determination to feel good again. So, take a deep breath. You're on the right path. Let's finish this strong. Alright, let's quickly go over what we've learned today. So palmetto berry may help you reduce those frustrating nighttime bathroom trips. Balance your hormones so you feel emotionally steadier. Lower inflammation in your joints and prostate. Support memory, mental clarity, and brain blood flow. Ease digestion and reduce bloating naturally. 5 simple benefits from one humble fruit. And now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever tried saw palmetto? Or maybe you've heard stories about it from someone you know? Drop a comment below and share your experience, or your questions. This channel isn't just about talking to you. It's about building a conversation with you. And if today's video helped you feel more informed, more hopeful, or more in control, please, consider subscribing to Elderly Wisdom Guide. This is a place for honest, compassionate conversations about aging, health, and living well, no gimmicks, no scare tactics, just truth and care. Give this video a like if it resonated with you. It helps more people like us find it. And share it with a friend, a spouse, or someone who needs to hear that they're not alone. Thank you for spending your time here with me today. You could have watched anything, but you chose to learn, to grow, and to care about your health. That matters. You matter. Stay strong. Stay informed. And remember, you are never too old to take back control of your health. I'll see you in the next video.